Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about 14.4, the volume of prisms. So here it says the volume of a prism is the product of the area of the base and the height of the prism. So we use the capital letter B for the area of the base and lowercase h for the height of the prism. So we need to remember that whatever the formula is to find the area of the base shape is what we're going to use to find the area of the base. So remember squares and rectangles, parallelograms, length times width. Triangles, base times height divided by 2. And then those trapezoids, base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So those are those common formulas that we will be needing. Also, circles, area is pi r squared. So make sure that you have those handy. As we look at these first two, we are finding the volume of this cube. So volume is equal to area of the base times the height. We can find the area of the base by multiplying 4 by 4 and multiplying that by the height of 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So our volume of this cube is 64 feet cubed. So volume has cubic units. So now for number 2, we're finding the volume by the area of the base times the height. So this is a triangular prism. So the base shape is that triangular piece. So remember that we have base times height divided by 2 times the height. Go ahead and plug in the information here and try to find the volume of this triangular prism. All right, as we see here, we plugged in the dimensions for the triangle, 5 times 12 divided by 2 times the height of the prism, which is 9. 5 times 12 is 60, divided by 2 is 30. 30 times 9 is 270 meters cubed. Now, as we look at the next one, it says a movie theater designs 2 bags to hold 96 cubic inches of popcorn. Find the height of each bag. Which bag should the theater use to reduce the amount of paper needed, and explain? So it says you design bag C that has a volume of 96 cubic inches. Should the theater in example 3 choose your bag? So if we know that the volume is 96 cubic inches, we need to find the height. So I'm going to write the volume of bag C would be equal to the area of the base times the height. Now we know the volume is 96. We can find the area of the base by multiplying 4 times 4.8 times the height. So we're going to solve for this variable. As we multiply 4 times 4.8, we end up with the value of 19.2. So 19.2 times h would equal the volume of 96. Now, since these are multiplying, we know that we have to divide by 19.2 on each side. And when you divide this, you end up with a height of 5. So the height of bag C is 5 inches. But now, since we're talking about how much paper, that's talking about the surface area. So if we're looking at the surface area of each bag, we have the surface area of A, and we know that there is a front, a back, a left, a right, and a bottom. But the top of the bag is left open to fill with popcorn. So for letter B, or bag B, we have the same sides. We have the front, the back, the left, the right, and the bottom. And the same thing for bag C. So you need to go ahead and find the surface area of all three bags, now that we know all of the dimensions, to see which one is going to use the least amount of paper. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and do that. Now, as you looked over this, you might have realized that you also needed the heights of bag A and bag B, which were found using the example given in the book. So if we would have found the heights of those for bag A, 96 would be equal to 3 times 4 times the height. So 96 would equal to 12h. So h was 8. And for bag B, we had 96 is equal to 4 times 4 times h, which is 16h. And when we solve here, we ended up finding out that h was 6. So you needed those before you could work this surface area. So now I have written in all of our formulas that you should have written in as well on your guided notes. So the front of bag A is 4 by 8. The back is the same. Left is 3 by 8. Right is the same. And the bottom is 3 by 4. Now when we go to add these 32, 32, 24, 24, and 12, we are going to end up with a surface area of 124 inches squared. Now the same thing when we multiplied our dimensions for the bag B, we get 24 for 4 sides and 16 for the base. So we ended up with 112 inches squared for bag B. When we moved on to bag C, we have dimensions of 24, 24, 20, 20, and 19.2. And when we add those, we get a value of 107.2 inches squared. So if we are looking for the bag that's going to use the least amount of paper, we would compare their surface areas and see that bag C would be the best choice.